Welcome to the studio here at Itron Utility Week 2019. We're talking smart city trends with CISCO. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Tell us a little bit about the trends that you're seeing in the US right now.
Obviously the trends are interesting in that, you hear of smart communities, you hear about IoT, connected autonomous vehicles. There's a lot of changes going on. A lot of changes with regards to our customers, whether it be in the public sector side or the private sector side. And so CISCO is trying to help navigate some of that, introducing technology, but also sort of introducing maybe new relationships and economic models.
So this implies changing business models for everyone involved.
Exactly. So in some cases, if you look at California with the recent PG&E issues, right, you've got a situation where the city's making an offer to buy the utility, and then you've got other scenarios in San Diego, where I'm from, where the city has bifurcated themselves away from the private utility so they can source more alternative energy. So now they've got a marketplace going, right? In the West, there seems to be this position that the utility companies will rely on electric vehicles to sort of bridge that gap, right? Because demand is going down with solar mandates and things like this. On the East Coast of the US, we actually see more of the utilities saying, I want to provide smart community services to the cities. I'm going to go into that market to hedge my reduction in revenue, right? So the economic models are definitely changing. Sort of the undercurrent of some of that is things like connected vehicles, or electric vehicles rather, where gas tax revenue may not be there to maintain roads. So how do we shift? And I may have to use electric vehicles to offset that, and maybe I charge for the charge of that vehicle, or a road usage charge, or things like that. So the economics as we know it are definitely changing, and we're just trying to navigate that and provide solutions in the middle.
So where do you see this going in the next 3 to 5 years?
I think that, it's really relative to what geography you're referring to. Obviously, if you look in the Western US, it's all about cars, right? So as we've talked to utilities, they pretty much told us, look, we're not going to do smart community services. We're going to go straight for the electric vehicle market. We believe that's going to help us. As the state has mandated solar, as I mentioned before, we know their revenues are flat to declining, right? So, which kind of caught folks off guard. So PG&E had the lawsuit, which got them into a little bit of an issue because they were in the middle of a revenue cycle that was flat to declining, right? So you can't really survive those types of trends that way. But as we move forward, I believe that the cities are deciding their position they want to take. Either they're going to have an open marketplace like San Diego. The climate action plan in the state of California is what's driving that. And I believe that's going to go across the US. I really do. I think that California is typically the model for using environmental policies like that. We also see the federal government driving more compliance and regulation down from their level, which means what's your water leak detection ratios, right? We're not asking you to fix it right now, but you should know what it is. So as we see compliance coming down from the feds, and then states trying to comply and drive their own initiatives, I think somewhere in the middle will be borne out maybe a new model where cities have an electricity exchange. Meaning you can source from residents off the rooftops. I can source from your car when you park in an EV charging station. And maybe the utility will be part of that managed smart city model where the city has to deal with workforce development. They'll lean on utilities to help them bridge that gap.
Of course, Itron Utility Week is a great place to have all these conversations.
Indeed.
What are some of the interesting conversations you've had in the last few days?
I think that it is sort of, it's resonating where we're hearing cities as well as utilities telling us the things that we think we're hearing, so that's good to kind of get that validation. And I believe, the partnership with Itron is extremely important for us. They've been a long-time AMI partner for us, so a lot of cities are looking to go to advanced metering. And that's a very critical first step for a city to understand, right? A lot of the AMI systems have leak detection in them, right? So if I've got a smart meter and it can feel anomalies in the line, I know there's a leak, right? So as the cities have to comply with leak detection requirements or just an understanding baseline, Itron is really critical for us to be that first sort of frontier of let us help you establish what your leak detection issue is, what part of the city it is, and I think that moving forward, Itron will continue to be a valued partner for us in that.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Be sure to subscribe to our channels for more industry-related content.